Okay, this is net present value. Now, this is a heck of a way to start a lecture with such a complicated-looking formula on the board. But what this is saying is we're going to sum up all the future cash flows, and we're going to divide it by 1 plus the required rate of return or discount rate, whichever value we're looking at. And when that equals or is greater than the initial outlay, that gives you your net present value. So what it amounts to is this. We have an initial outlay of $60,000. In year 1, you can see all the returns. So what we're going to do is get the present value for all of these returns and compare it to the initial outlay. Now, if the return at present value is greater than the $60,000, we're going to accept the project. And here's an example. In this case, we took all of this, came up with the net present value, found out the net present value was $60,764. We compare that to the $60,000, and we find we have a net present value of $764, okay? So I guess I should have called this present value of the benefits. Then we're going to subtract the cost, which was the $60,000. So it has a net present value over 0, so it's a feasible project. And you can do this in Excel, and it's so much easier than doing it by hand. What you would do is take the initial outlay and put in all of the free inflows, okay? Cash flow inflows. Try to say that 10 times. And then in a cell, A7, you would put in the negative outlay, negative 60,000, plus NPV, parentheses, then the discount rate, and the range of the cash flows. And that will give you a net present value of $764. So it's very easy to do using Excel. Now the trade-offs, okay? You're considering cash flows, and you're not looking at just profits, okay? So you're looking at cash flow. And it considers all cash flows. It just doesn't stop like payback period would. And it recognizes the time value of money. Now, the drawbacks to using the NPV, you have to make long-term forecast of cash flows. Now, sometimes that is very arbitrary, okay? That is a guesstimate in many cases. So you have to be very, very careful, okay, about what you forecasting those cash flows to be. And you have to be or recognize that there may be fluctuation in those cash flows. So this is the NPV. It's used second on the list, remember, of the overview. And I'm going to compare this to the IRR next, so you can see the trade-off back and forth between the two.